Hello my friends, it's Ranger Russ from the Meigs Point Nature Center. We're starting a little early today because I am visiting with our blue jays, and I had both of them here at the same time, and generally they don't come land on my shoulder at the same time. They take turns, and one will usually chase the other off of my shoulder. Now, I did a blue jay program a while back, almost a year ago now, but I thought it would be great to come back and just visit with the blue jays. This is something that they actually need. Both of these blue jays are imprinted. So we'll talk about that in a second. Now they're chasing each other around my head. But first, let me remind everyone, this Saturday, Ginny Apple is going to be doing a lecture on bald eagles. It's going to be very informative. I love bald eagles. Most people do. They're absolutely gorgeous birds. So if you would like to sign up for the Zoom feed, you can go to meigspointnaturecenter.org. Under programs, visit the calendar, and then you can click on the date and sign up for the link for Zoom. Or you can watch it on Facebook Live. So make sure if you want to see the program on Zoom, you sign it, because we only allow 100 people on Zoom. Everybody else is going to have to watch on Facebook Live. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about our blue jays. Now, they are imprinted, which means, it does not mean that they think they're people, but it does mean that they relate much better to people than to each other. So they've been together for over a year now. They do get along much better than they used to, but sometimes they do not get along very well. So they will occasionally have conflicts and chase each other around. Now, Lindy, we believe, is a male, which is this one right here. He's not going to come and be nice. And Lewin, we believe, is a female. Let me flip the camera, because Lewin has a mouthful of food right over my head. And she's letting you all know that's her food. Okay. And now down here we have Lindy, who we believe is a male. Now, these birds are not sexually dimorphic. The males and females, same color, generally the same size. The male does have a bit of a different call that the females don't typically use, but that's, not a guarantee of how to tell males from females. And our parrots are over there saying, what about us? So, all right, let's see if we can get Lindy to come back over. Lindy is generally the one that likes to sit on my shoulder, and Lewin likes to sit on my head. And let's see which one that, I think that was Lewin that just, and that one's Lindy. All right, listen to that. I don't know if you can hear. The parrots are doing their alarm call. It's really pay attention to us because I'm over here with them. The blue jays have learned to mimic that call. So they will do the parrot squawk. Blue jays are mimickers. They're in the corvid family, which means they're very intelligent. And since they're not landing on me, we'll flip the camera around and look at them. So that call that you're hearing from the blue jays, it's very similar to the blue jay alarm call. It has a little bit of parrot in there as well. It gets pretty loud in here when they're all going at the same time. So we have 4 birds in here, and they can make a lot of noise. Now, Lindy is doing his, this is one of the behaviors he does that make us think he is a male. So if he will tap dance around, and he's on the, there we go. There we go. So this is why we think, I don't know if you can hear him, kind of like R2-D2 noises. I hope everyone can hear that. It does hurt a bit when he pounds on your finger. Now notice his crown is completely up when he's doing this. His belly feathers are puffed out. He flares his tail. I'm going to move the microphone. He's probably not going to do it again. All right, so that was the Lindy dance. There we go. See if we can get him to go again. So one thing about blue jays is they are not actually blue. Now, the reason that they appear to be blue is a trick of light refraction. A cardinal, their feathers are red, and they actually have a red pigment that makes them red. The blue jays do not have any blue pigment. It's just the angle of the feathers that cause the light to refract in a blue-like color. He doesn't want to come up my arm. Sometimes he'll dance right up my arm. Come here, buddy. So, there we go. I don't want to talk when he's talking. And now he's tap dancing around behind me. Here. Oh, no, let's flip that. Let's do this. So another interesting thing about blue jays is their migration. So they may spend the winter here, and then they will just pick up and migrate south. They might migrate in the summer. They might migrate from the south to the north, and then they'll spend a few years in that location. So their migration is not a seasonal migration. It's a very, they call it migration without reason. Like, we don't know what causes them to just get up and move. Yeah. A very happy bird today. All right. Someone says they didn't realize how varied their vocalization was. It is, so they are mimickers for one thing, so they can mimic other birds. They will also do osprey calls because we've got the osprey nest. All right, let's see. I think Lindy right now is chasing Lewin away from me. Lindy wants the attention. So Lewin is up above me over here. Let's flip around and you can look at Lewin there. So we had, Lewin is a year older, and we've had her since she was just a few months old. Lindy we've also had since he was a few months old. He's a year younger. Now they live 7 years in the wild. You can generally double that in captivity, so you can expect up to 14 years. But the oldest blue jay was 26 years old. It was banded, I believe it was in Canada, and then found 26 years later caught up in fishing net. So it actually could have lived longer. Or fishing gear, they described it as fishing gear. So it's pretty cool that this bird can live so long. Let's flip the camera back and you can take a look again at Lindy doing his dance. Up, he just became interested in the tripod. So let's leave the tripod alone there. Yeah. He likes to pound on my fingers, and you'll see the marks when I'm all done. So again, I like to come in. You do need to spend some time with these birds. There are volunteers that come in and feed them and take care of them. But sometimes it's good just to come in. For me, I like to come in to evaluate how they're doing. So I'm paying particular attention to his talons. He did have an injury when he was very young. We broke one of his toes, and it's a little crooked. It's healed up, but it's very crooked. So I do like to come in and check that out. Also, during molting time, we need to make sure that they are molting in a normal way, a few feathers at a time. If they're molting all at once, that could mean, well, a few different things, but stress causes them to molt pretty suddenly. So it's a good thing that we come in and evaluate them regularly. All right, let's see. We've got some questions and or comments. My grandmother had a blue jay that became her pet for years. When I was little, I used to feed and listen to all the calls it made. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to say, though, it is against the law to have blue jays as pets. We are only able to get it as an educational facility. You going to come over? There you go. So I don't recommend, it is something that was done years ago. Box turtles was another one that was very popular, and raccoons. All very popular pets, but not a good idea for many reasons. And let's see if he's going to go on my hat. Lindy actually likes my shoulder better. Lewin loves to sit on the top of my hat. Okay, now there we go. I mentioned that they're not actually blue. Let's see if we can get both of them over here. It is a refraction of light that causes that appearance. But they are also very intelligent. They've been known in captivity, if you put food on one side of a cage with on a piece of paper, they learn to pull the paper underneath. They're very intelligent. They can obviously learn other birds' calls, and they can use tools to get food. So they've been known to use bits of straw to stick in and get, I don't know if you've seen monkeys or chimpanzees do that, where they get termites out of a mound. So they do have methods. They also like to eat acorns, which there are not a lot of birds that like acorns. But they will bury them, and then the acorns will grow because they bury thousands of them, and then they don't eat all 1,000 of them. All right, so Lindy just chased Lewin away right there. So now they're trying to decide who's going to come down. They do need to establish their own hierarchy. So in general, we let them establish their hierarchy, unless they get really aggressive with each other, which could happen. But in general, when two animals are together, they're the one that determines which one is dominant. It's not up to us, and there's no way that they're going to be equal all the time. They may be equal at times, but not always equal. So this helps them establish their hierarchy and determine, here's something else they like to eat, peanuts. So we talked about this yesterday in the program, that blue jays are one of the birds that love to eat peanuts. And we're going to watch this one go to work here. This is Lindy. Lindy, you can see, Lewin, I'll have to say, is much better at getting peanuts out of my hand than Lindy is. Lewin will sit there, she'll break it open, she'll pull the peanut out. Let's see if I can get her to come over and do it. She's eating omelet right now. So they've already been cleaned and cared for the day. So they already have their omelet. They get a little omelet each day. They have a bucket up here of seed mix with mostly sunflower, but there's some dried fruit in there. The omelet consists of dog food, mixed vegetables, eggs with the shells. Sometimes we'll throw a treat in there like a mealworm. Come on down. No, she doesn't want to come down. And I'm assuming it's because this guy is down here. All right, let's... Lori says one of her favorite birds. I think blue jays are one of those birds, either you love them or you hate them. They do get a bad rap. They are an aggressive bird, very intelligent. Their alarm call is sort of the alarm for other birds. When they start alarming, all the other birds will move away. They also have been known to mimic hawk calls to scare other birds away, so that they can get food. Or if it's a larger bird, like a crow, they might mimic the hawk call to scare the crows away. Now, I mentioned their intelligence. One of the things that lets you know just how intelligent they are is that they will wait. They understand the concept of waiting. He is singing away here. He just flew all the way up. So they will wait, and when an animal is not paying attention, wow, he drew blood that time. When an animal is not paying attention, or a person, they'll fly down, steal the food, and move away. There aren't a lot of animals that understand the concept of wait the way blue jays do. They are very good at it. Another thing that lets you know just how intelligent they are cowbirds. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know much about cowbirds, but cowbirds, relatively new to Connecticut. They were from the Western Plains, have expanded their range over the years. They will lay their eggs in other birds' nests. They don't take care of their own eggs. They lay their eggs in other birds' nests. The blue jay is the only bird that I know of, there may be another one out there, that recognizes when a cowbird does this and actually eats the eggs. So for the blue jay, when a cowbird lays its eggs in a blue jay's nest, the blue jay just thinks, oh, somebody left me a treat. Where other birds will think, oh, this is a new egg that I need to raise and take care of. So that's one example of how smart they are. A group of blue jays is called a party. And you can understand why. When there's a bunch of, when these two get going, it is like a party. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. Yesterday mentioned bluebird food. They can't break shells. But can you buy pre-shelled seed? The meat of the seed for the bluebirds. So yes, for bluebirds, they will eat shelled sunflower seed. The best food for bluebirds are the mealworms, but you can also get the shelled seed. I gotta watch out because sometimes they'll put things in my ear. Blue jays like to cache food, which means they take and store it, and sometimes they'll store it, you know, when you're not looking down your shirt, up on my hat. So we do have to pay attention to that. But yes, for bluebirds, they will eat the shelled sunflower seed. But yeah, they do not break open the seed on their own. Blue jays can break open their own shells, and they will eat a little of everything. They'll eat the mealworms, they'll eat the peanut, lots of things. They're not really interested in this peanut. They seem more interested just in visiting with me today. I'm not sure why that is. You can see they're watching each other. This is one of the coolest parts of my job is I get to work with live animals. It's also one of the most challenging because you never know what they're going to do. I don't know what the next behavior is going to be from these birds. So you do have to pay attention to them. This is Lindy. He just chased Lewin away. What's the lifespan of Jays and Cardinals? For Cardinals, I'm not positive. I think Cardinals max out at like 5 years. Blue Jays, typically 7 years in the wild. Are they territorial? Cardinals are very territorial. Blue Jays are a bit territorial too, although when it's not breeding season, they will gather into groups. I don't know if you guys, it just flew right by the camera there. Two birds, do they come back to the same place year after year? So now the parrots are going again. Blue Jays, they say that they're monogamous. So once a blue jay creates a pair bond, we're trying to unplug the microphone wire. Once they create a pair bond, that's going to be a pair bond for the life of the bird. So if one of them dies, they're going to pair up again. But as far as territory goes, they're going to go to the same general area each year. All right, let's see. Missed any others? Lori was going to say nobody offers her an omelet, but now she's glad because there's dog food in it. That's good. Blue Jays and Canada Jays. Canada Jays have a different color, completely different bird. Different color pattern, different size. I'm pretty sure that the eastern blue jay is the largest of the blue jay family. Oh. So again, Lewin was on my shoulder and Lindy had to come down and chase her away. Why do you keep chasing her away? So right now, Lindy here has a mouth full of food, which he's looking to stash somewhere. So maybe a fold in my shirt is enough. He will do that. He'll stick it right down. He'll stick it in the sleeves. Yesterday they were, I just saw him hide it. Yesterday they were being a bit aggressive with each other. So I had to come in and just spend some time, which is what gave me the idea for this program. I was actually going to do orienteering today. I'm glad I'm not because it's really cold here. Last time I checked, it was 17, so it's a deep freeze going on here right now. I really want to show you how they can take this peanut apart, but he's not really interested in it, and he won't let her come down and open it. All right, any other questions? Let's go back down. What makes a bird a jay? A jay is a family of birds. Kind of like broad-winged hawks or buteos. Jays are within the corvid family. So you have corvids, which are ravens, crows, and jays. Raven, we only have one of. Crows, we have two of. Jays, we only have one jay, but around the world there are other jays. There are gray jays and stellar jays. And I think ours are the most beautiful. Although the stellar jay that's a pretty beautiful bird as well. The Canada, okay, all the jays are beautiful. They all have variations of blues on them, and they all have the crest as well. All right. Do we have any other questions? So again, I want to remind everyone, if you do have questions, please post them. But make sure that you tune in on Saturday for our talk on bald eagles. We did a talk earlier with a place called Hope on bald eagles, so this is going to be a little bit of a different perspective. Every time I get into my talking, parrots have to remind me that they're there. I think I'll have to do a program over in the parrot cage coming up. So, another reminder, Friday is actually a state holiday, which I always forget about these state holidays, so I will be off Friday, but I may be doing a program from home. We'll see if we can do, I was thinking of cross-country skiing, and maybe I can take you guys cross-country skiing on Friday. Wow, that's very loud. Lori just Googled the Stellar's jay. They are beautiful, aren't they? The jays are one of the birds, though, that I think people in this area, you're used to jays. They're around all the time. They chase other birds from feeders. I think people give them sort of a bad rap. They don't realize how beautiful or intelligent they are. The parrots haven't been this loud in days. Wow. All right. Let's see. Bob says they think they're the star of Facebook show. Yes, they do. They are the stars, though. Yes, they are. Yeah, see that? That was Lindy chasing Lewin again. Now, because we think they're male-female, there is a possibility that they may lay eggs and nest. We will not allow them to raise young, though. That requires special permits, licenses, and special knowledge. So, Judith asked if they miss the visitors, and I think absolutely 100% yes. So, the reptiles and fish, they don't care so much about interaction with people. The birds become used to things, they get used to people, and they want to spend time with people. That's one of the reasons why we ask the volunteers when they're done feeding and cleaning the cages, just spend some time standing here with them. They're not getting the attention that they were getting. One of my former volunteers, Ned, who might be watching, had a great saying. He said that parrots and blue jays are the same, to me, are like 3-year-olds that are always going to be 3-year-olds. So they like a routine and they like attention. So we do have to try and keep them in a routine and try and give them attention. One of the things about routine, they generally eat first thing in the morning, but if they don't, they get very disgruntled with you. So if you come in and feed them, there was one day that I was doing the feeding and I waited till after my program to feed them. They were not happy with me. They were very upset. They wanted food before that, and they really let me know it. There was a lot of squawking going on. There was a lot of flying at me. So another thing that you learn with birds, all animals, I have found this with every animal, but birds have personalities, just like your cat or your dog. Some are more aggressive, some are more friendly, some are more playful. The birds are exactly the same way. And after you spend time with them for a while, you do pick up on their personalities. I mentioned bird enrichment and spending time with them. This is part of the enrichment. Another thing, though, and they're not taking the peanut from me. Let's see if I can get Lewin to... She's going at it, but she's not hopping up. Ah, there we go. Let's see if we can get... There we go. So one of the things we will do is take peanuts and hide them around their enclosure. And it gives them something to do. They look for the peanut, and then they try and extract the peanut from the hiding place. And they try to, they'll sit here like she's doing and open it up. Very good bird. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this. It's just a brief visit with our Blue Jays. It gives me a chance to do something that I would have had to do anyway today, which is just spend a little time with them. There's Lewin again. Sorry, Lindy. It is hard sometimes keeping track of the birds as they're moving around in here. So I'm going to take this peanut and just hide it over here. This isn't really hidden, but we'll stick it in over here, and they'll come down and they'll really start to take that apart. All right, so again, please tune in to our future programs. If you missed a program live, you can watch the recorded programs, and I do have another in-depth Blue Jay program that you can see on YouTube or in the Virtual Learning Center at meigspointnaturecenter.org. If you visit the Virtual Learning Center, you will also get additional educational content. That didn't take long. He got that peanut already. I think it was him. Yep. Lewin is over there. All right. So again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hopefully we will see you all on Saturday for our Eagle lecture.